Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Information and Culture, Dickiness Grace Isugekwe, has emphasized the need to revive, strengthen and reposition the federal government information management machinery to meet the challenges of the election periods as it concerns the information sector. The Permanent Secretary stated this at the capacity building workshop the Ministry organized for resident information officers and heads of federal information centers at the National Press Center, Radio House, Abuja.
Welcome you all to this special capacity building workshop for resident information officers and heads of federal information centers in the states, organized by the Ministry with the Public Communication and National Orientation Department as fulcrum for the workshop. This effort is in fulfillment of my earlier promise to ensure that ROIOs and FICs are regularly trained and their capacity is built to meet the rapid developments in the area of information management. This workshop is therefore conducted to strategically educate you on the expected conduct at post and how best to revive, strengthen, fully invigorate, and reposition the federal government information management machinery, particularly to meet the challenges of election periods as it concerns information sector. We are all aware that the Ministry of Information and Culture is the image and the soul of this nation. It is the bridge between government and the governed. If we do not effectively communicate government activities to Nigerians and the world at large, the efforts of other government ministries and agencies will be unknown, unsung, and recognized.
Dickiness Gape charged the participants to use the FGNI app and the ministry's website for the benefit of their work. She reminded the RIOs that the ministry is the image and soul of the nation, hence the need to effectively communicate government activities to Nigerians and the outside world.
We will also use the opportunity provided by this auspicious gathering to interact with you on how best to make use of the FGNI and the FMI CIF websites and the benefits they offer for our work. It is important that ROIOs and heads of FICs to make use of these channels and assist in populating it with information on government activities. I believe a special session has been earmarked to brief you on our expectation in this area, especially as the ministry website was recently adjudged the best among 70 MDAs by the Bureau of Public Service Reform.
The Permanent Secretary, however, urged the RIOs to maintain a good relationship with their principals, special assistants on media, and management in line with the extant rules in the Public Civil Service rules.
In addition, it is a platform to sensitize our RIOs on relationship management at post. This is very critical. Your relationship with your principals, special assistants on media, where applicable, management and staff, as well as your subordinate, is very, very crucial. This is in line with the stipulated instant rules in the public service rules. You know you cannot effectively carry out the mandate of the ministry if you do not have or develop a good working relationship with people in your MDAs or states, especially as our mandate revolves around effective publicity of government activities nationwide and also at the grassroots. Ladies and gentlemen, building a competitive and effective information system is our challenge. And I know that we will rise up to this challenge at this time. I want to express emphatically that I feel elated that we have here a good team of professionals, experienced men and women, to execute this challenge of revitalizing and repositioning the ministry to regain its relevance to this democratic dispensation and beyond.
In a welcome address, the Director of Public Communication and National Orientation of the Ministry, Mrs. Priscilla Ioma, encouraged the resident information officers to be proficient in computer and internet application, Mrs. Hioma explained that the workshop was to refresh the RIOs for today and the future and to enable them interact and benefit from the experiences of the resource persons.
Our gathering here today is the second of its kind since I took up the saddle in the Department of Public Communications and National Orientation. Of course, with the blessing of our very caring and understanding Permanent Secretary, Deaconess Grace Isu-Gekpe. Resident information officers and the heads of centers here, I would like to point out once more the few things we expect of you from your posts. For the heads of centers, yours is just sensitization, enlightenment generally in the states. But it goes beyond that because you can always be called back to the headquarters to do the work of an information officer in the MDAs. For resident information officers, your primary assignment is to effectively publicize government. And it has become necessary that we forward electronically all our reports from our posts. Those of us who have not been doing that, please are encouraged to fast forward yourselves. You submit both in the past and the future ones. On no account must any resident information officer send their news reports or press releases to media houses before you send to the ministry. And of course, using the federal government IR, we expect that everybody should join the RIO Nigeria group and of course that federal government platform and send your reports and your press releases electronically. You must be proficient in the use of computer, of course, but I found out that most of us are still giving jobs to our juniors to do. Please try to update yourselves. This training will also try to touch on such issues. The present workshop is geared towards equipping those of us in the field to be able to do our work better. In this regard, I would like to stress that the workshop will be more of practical, hence the invitation of skilled and experienced resource persons that have worked in the field of information management, retired, remained resourceful, and are experts in their own rights. You just acknowledged one. One is seated up here with us, another there. I promise you it will be a swell time for all of us here.
Drawing attention to salient facts that are operational. Ladies and gentlemen, the pamphlet talk of self-belief, and that is very crucial. Experiences in the field show that many of our officers in the field lacked courage. Times arise when you are challenged on duty. Their self-belief, their composure, their personal discipline, they will all speak for you. With this preamble, may I look at a lecture, short lecture I prepared. This presentation, I am embarking on it with some presuppositions. The first is that the appropriate use of English language is compulsory for effective public communication. The second supposition is that training programs are designed, like I've said, for capacity building. Hence, the initiative by the Public Communications Department is intended to show up the performance of RIOs and heads of centers who constitute, like I said earlier, the bulk work of the Ministry's Public Information Hub. Over the years, we noticed what we call efficiency or skills gap. The ministry noticed skills gap because many people who are called to be information officers came from very dedicated backgrounds. Some read sociology, some read history, some even read geography, and they're about here. It becomes an advantage if we can aggregate all the values in the various disciplines Hence, this was